Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet and read them for your entertainment. This particular story is called Fear of Heights, written by G. Stain67. Gazoka sipped a drink and used an eye stalk to look down at a new deckmate sitting on a bench, a human named John. She pondered on how these strange creatures were able to reach the stars. They were so small, had soft, pliable skin rather than a hard exoskeleton, and only had two eyes fixed in place. Their primary hands, which they used during repairs on starships, seemed very capable. But it was quite disconcerting how they walked on their aft hands and were completely lacking in mid-hands. Yet, with these clear handicaps, they had built an interstellar civilization. So intriguing, these little squishy beings. "John," she said. He looked up at her, mumbling, "Mm-hmm." Well, he chewed on some kind of lead food thing. "You're the first human that I've met. What brings you to the station? Aren't we a long way from your world?" John appeared to clear his mouth of that sandwich. She had recalled the word and replied, I needed the work and I don't have much family back on Earth, so the distance is not a problem. Meeting new species, like yourself, has been the biggest win. I don't really have the same opportunities at home." As Gazoka pondered, John finished the sandwich and stood up. "Okay, I'm gonna head up and check at number 14 turret. Captain Leoge said that it wasn't tracking properly during the last diagnostic." "Right," Gazoka responded. "But we're waiting on the lifter to get here from Bay 3 to take us up there. It'll be here in about 30 minutes. So you may as well stay on break." John looked at her with a strange expression. "Lifter? Why? I'm just gonna go up there and check the turret." "What do you mean by go up there?" Climb on top of the ship," he replied. Then he noticed her body parts retreat into a hard carapace and asked, "You seem to be scared of something." Gazoka replied in a shaky voice, You should not climb up there. Wait for the lifter." Confused, John asked, "It's a simple task. Why not?" "You could fall." "I won't." "You might." Well, sure, but I won't. It's fine," he replied. "You could die. What is wrong with you, John? Are you placing yourself into harm's way? Don't go up there. Wait." 1 hour later, John was sitting in a chair across the desk from Ntoko, the supervisor, who was clearly furious given his antennae movements. Ntoko asked, "What were you thinking? Climbing onto a 30-meter-high starship without a lifter? You could have fallen and died." John shrugged and replied, That's no big deal. Humans build towers 1,000 meters high." Ntoko's antennae stiffened and replied, "That is a nightmare. Nothing should be that tall. When you climbed onto that ship to check out that turret, the deck crew was yelling at you to get down, to wait for the lifter, to get a harness. You were too high up. Everybody was scared for your safety." "I was fine," John replied. 5 people went to hospital in shock when you, what was the word, did cartwheels on top of the ship." End of story. Story number 2. Job title, Human, written by Catfish21SM. One of the most ridiculous things that I ever heard of. It's become standard protocol now, and the majority of ships have begun hiring humans simply because they are humans. It wasn't long ago that humans were introduced to the Galactic Union. They still aren't that common, making them very valuable assets. But seriously, some humans train their entire lives just to become professional humans. They just live on the ship that they are contracted with, and their entire job is being a human. That is it, nothing more. They don't have to do anything at all. They are just humans. It's not right. Most people train their entire lives for an actual career path. A salesman, an engineer, even sanitary experts. But why is it that humans get jobs and are in such high demand just because they are human? I never understood it. I always swore that if I were ever to own a ship of my own, I would never hire a human. Just the thought of it disgusted me. They are nothing more than glorified mascots. Well, that's what I used to think, at least. That's when I was still an assistant, training to be a captain someday. Like you, I verbalized my complaints to my captain numerous times. Unlike you, though, I was simply shut down without explanation. My captain believed in learning by experience, and so do I. One day on a routine trading mission, we were ambushed by pirates. The human, Midas, he was named, job title, human. He stepped up and took over the conversation and began negotiating with the pirates. Do you have a human on board for me to negotiate with? No. Why would we ever hire a lazy bum like you humans? Ah, that's too bad. You see, humans are great at many tasks. We're excellent at negotiation, see? Well then, Mr. Negotiator, let's see what you got. Sure thing. If you give us all of your cargo, and then we'll let you leave alive. That's great. We're the ones threatening you. You're just saying what we're planning to say before we say it. Is that all you've got? Oh, no. You don't seem to understand. And what exactly don't I understand? Well, you see, our shields are triple layered. How long do you think it would take to get through those? About an hour at most. And our guns are Gen 6 plasma blasters, along with 4 Gen 8 air SFGs. How long do you think it would take those to penetrate one of your ships? Yeah, maybe 20 minutes if you concentrated on a single ship. Great. Thanks for the info. So, going by my calculations, we could take out 5 of your 6 ships before you even get through our shields. That's not even including the emergency attack drones that we keep in storage for situations just like this. That's very... Oh yeah, did I mention that we've already called the Galactic Trade Union and they are sending a support vessel at this moment? They should be here in less than an hour. If you do a quick jump out of here, well, then I'm sure that you could escape. But after this little threat, we'll have to take at least one of your ships down before we let you go. That's ridiculous. You're right. All of your cargo is probably worth more than one of your ships and crew. Not to mention, then it would be difficult to carry all of that. How about this? You leave us one of your ships and the cargo on it, and we will allow you to evacuate your crew off of it, and we will take that ship with it. That way you get to keep your crew. Honestly, it's a win-win with an extra ship and cargo, and you get to keep some valuable manpower and leave with your lives. Absolutely not, sir. The trade union indicates that their aid vessels have an ETA of 20 minutes. Another crew member stationed at the comms monitor spoke out. Ah, look at that. That's faster than expected. How long does it take your warp engines to fire up? Fine. Take your ship. Do not follow us. A deal is a deal, after all. The pirates quickly left their ship and a quick jump out of that space. We prepared to send some extra crew over to take the ship and were planning to sell it at port. I was going to be the temporary captain over at that ship. Before I left, though, I noticed that the trade union ships were late. I was a bit confused, so I turned to the human and asked, "What was all of that? The negotiation, you mean?" "Yeah. How did you get the trade union to agree to send aid so quickly?" "I didn't." "What? What do you mean?" "I lied." "But then... when did we upgrade our ship's weapons package? We're just a trade ship, not a war vessel." "That was also a lie. I did make sure to make it reasonable so that our current weapons and shielding could bluff them for a few minutes if it came down to it. But for the most part, everything I said was a lie." But, what about Rogue Escort?" "Oh, that's Pirate Protocol 3. He taught me 4 pirate protocols when he joined up a few years ago. I have them saved in my prompt. Wait 10 minutes after negotiations begin and read off the script. That's the one where the pirates don't have a human and are not shooting at us." "Wait, you had all this planned out years ago?" "Yeah, more or less. I go with the flow, but it's a pretty basic script." "You seemed so confident, though." "Yeah, that's why it worked. Also, why did you ask if they had a human? Would it have been easier to negotiate with another human?" No. Another human would have seen through my lies in a heartbeat." "But you said..." "Another lie, of course. I chose my words carefully so that it wouldn't be easy for them to tell that I was lying. Did you notice what species their captain was?" A Horroclox?" "Correct. They are very aggressive species that evolved as pack hunters on the desert world, and their homeworld methods of deception, like camouflage, would be difficult to pull off. More complex deceptions, like lying, could mess with the group's dynamics. Thus, they evolved to be extremely trusting and terrible liars. Because of that, they are easy to deceive. Well, most species that live in a group are." "So, what if he wasn't easier to deceive?" "I would have chosen my words more carefully. I made everything sound more realistic. Depending on what species he was, we may have lost some of our cargo. But even if he was a human, we probably would have gotten away with some small profit." What? Any more questions?" "So, I hear that you're going up for promotion soon. If you're interested, I have a good friend, a human, of course, that would be happy to work with a ship of someone as kind and trustworthy as you. Of course, I'm also available, but I would need a nice pay raise to leave here. You'd have to negotiate with the captain." If you want that recommendation, then I recommend you don't. My friend, it is then. Don't worry, I put a lot of faith in them. They might even be a better negotiator than me. And since they're new, I'm sure that they would be willing to negotiate their contract a lot more than I could.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's go with that then.
Great. I'll give them a call. And that's how we got our native Gloria. I understand your frustration, but when push comes to shove, having a human on board is absolutely necessary. I mean, just look at what a single human did for us on my ship before. Not only did we get out alive from the pirates, but we even took one of their ships with minimal effort. They basically gave it to us. I'm sure that you all have your ship of your own someday, and I'm sure that you will have a human on that ship. And I'm absolutely certain that there will come a day when you realize how invaluable a human is to a ship. Remember always, every ship needs a human. End of story. I would just quickly like to thank the T5 peeps: Dragon Soup, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Red Panda 121, Leslie 517, Bushmaster 177, Caspar Arnholt, Cam Maxwell, Sans the Skeleton, Lightjock, Dragzoon WRE, and Lord Azrakal. Thank you very much.